Listen, it's an old joke, I know, but I'm still gonna say it. Is it really an update if there aren't stealth changes that weren't announced included in said update? Well, no matter what, Season 5 for Modern Warfare 2 is no exception because there's quite a handful of them in regards to unmentioned changes from the patch notes. And today, we're gonna run down them for you so that you have a fuller understanding of some of the changes that you may or may not have noticed in Season 5's update in Modern Warfare 2. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What do you think of Season 5 thus far for Modern Warfare 2? Like it, dislike it, whatever the case, drop your thoughts down below. Now, if you enjoyed the video, you'll find it insightful. Do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 2, Season 5, Modern Warfare 3 upcoming with the reveal here coming on the near horizon, and as well other things like XDefiant and more that releasing soon. So I'd love to have you in the community if you're interested in any of that kind of stuff. And finally, check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage for the best blue light glasses on the market. Code Espresso gets you 10% off your order, but more on that a little later. For now, let's jump into the stealth changes. First up, let's talk about some UI things out of game and stuff that you may have noticed in menus and other things like that. Firstly, if you ended up playing on PC, one thing that's very apparent now is that on the BNet launcher, it now says Modern Warfare 2 is just simply Call of Duty. So the Call of Duty hub is now being branded as such, which is interesting. I'm curious to see how that goes moving forward into things like Modern Warfare 3 being its own application and stuff like that. But right now, Modern Warfare 2 is just straight up branded as Call of Duty on certain things. In game, though, we have some new interfacing and menu design for a couple of different things. Firstly, if you end up jumping in, you'll notice that there's more space in between each game mode now in the subsidiary Modern Warfare 2 experience. As you scroll down, it's like sort of own focus on each segment of, say, multiplayer, spec ops, campaign, all that kind of stuff. Private matches as well are now in their own section at the very bottom of that UI, as opposed to what we had them at the end of the multiplayer segment previously. The kill feed actually in-game, it's still applying to UI changes here. That will now show players that are removed from Ricochet's banning. That was something that was announced after the update went live as of yesterday, but is interesting. I've yet to see it actually happen, but that'd be cool here to see in-game, knowing that sort of poetic justice of that guy you might have been suspect of. Yeah, he was actually cheating. So while inconsequential to the big picture, it's definitely nice to be able to point and laugh at that cheater that got removed. Anyways, beyond that, we see that there's now a new music tab in the menu. This also is something that allows you to preview the original score from Hans Zimmer in the 2009 OST from the original Modern Warfare 2, which is right now currently unavailable, but seemingly will be added in here at some point over the course of the season, allowing it to replace all of the music here with the original Modern Warfare 2 2009. And I actually think there might be a slight bug here with this because I was joining a shipment game ranking some stuff up with the F4 Avancer right after the update went out, and for some reason, for like the first 5 to 10 seconds, the audio itself was changed to the 2009 score with the regular infill sequence audio and stuff that goes along with that. Never bought any of the audio packs, so I was like, that seems odd, but might just be something that is a bug here pointing towards everything being changed with this pack upcoming. But that's something that you may have noticed. We also saw that while this will be live by the time the video goes up, as of the update itself, it was for 2 days something that we had really no idea what it would entail, except for this, but we had camo previews of the Faction Showdown event rewards. Now, of course, we do have the Faction Showdown right now that you can do challenges for Task Force 141 or Shadow Company and earn rewards alongside all of that, culminating in each individual faction granting a weapon blueprint for completing the 5 challenges associated with that. Now, that said, that's still not the highest tier reward you can end up getting for the Faction Showdown stuff, because whatever side ends up winning, air quotes, the community event that goes alongside these individual challenges, those just simply being kill totals for sides selected for Task Force 141 or Shadow Company, whatever side ends up having more kills total through the entire community at the end of the event will then grant players that side's overall rewards, including an individual weapon camo that is universal for all weapons. So that's something you're not going to end up getting both, but one of these two will end up being rewarded to those that complete the faction that wins all 5 of their challenges. You have the polished camo and the blood cell camo. Polished being from the 141 side, blood cell being the Shadow Company side. And honestly, I'm pretty torn here on this one. I really hope that Infinity Ward is just like, hey, you know what? You guys can have them all if you completed all the challenges, because I love the blood cell camo. I think it looks awesome, but I also really like the soap skin that comes along with with the Task Force 141 completion. So like, it's one of those situations where you can't have both, and we'll get probably one or the other. But I mean, oh man, I'm really hoping that they're just like, hey, here it all is. Because I mean, my thing with this is that with the heroes versus villains thing in Last Stand, in Vanguard and Caldera, the only difference between the overall reward blueprint was just simply coloring. The blueprint was the exact same. The blood cell camo and the polished camos are actually different, so we genuinely may lose out on one of those if they decide to not drop them all. I think that would suck, but anyways, the stealth changes, you can preview these and you can see how they look in game before actually having them earned and equipped. And as of the time of the update going out, it was before the event even went live. And finally, rounding out our changes for like UI and stuff like that, additionally talking about camos a little further, we did see some name changes to camos of all things. With the Season 5 update, we saw the raid rewards being changed in naming. The projectile camo for the veteran raid reward, the animated black and green one, which is one of my personal favorites, is now named the Ether Wave, and the tarnished camo, which was the secret weapon raid 4 reward, that completing the Easter egg, is now named Unformed. So not entirely sure why those were changed, but changed no less. And if you were looking for a specific camo, you might be going off the look of it, not the name, but still might have caught your eye like it did me. Talking gameplay changes now here at this, one of the big things that we'll probably touch on a little bit more in depth in its own separate video is the new universal wrap feature. This came along with the Onyx Pitch FR Avancer blueprints. Those available in the shop for 2,000 COD points as of the Season 5 update. Now, why this is noteworthy is because the universal wrap applies the weapon blueprint camo to every single attachment available for the FR Avancer, meaning that yes, you can actually use some of these for things like the Sock and Tread 40 muzzle. That is something you can put on basically every weapon, but you can actually have that skin too. But this feature was something that was just kind of thrown in there, not announced at all, and a lot of people are rightfully comparing it to partially a weapon vault, something that was promised at the very beginning before launch of Modern Warfare 2, and we only ever saw the FJX Cinder weapon vault. Now, unlike the weapon vault, you don't get every attachment unlocked. There is no weapon platform that unlocks all the weapons associated with it alongside that, but it does give you that universal feel for a weapon blueprint across as if it were a camo for that weapon in particular. I think this is how blueprints should work all the time. I obviously don't know the intricacies of game dev and the design behind all of that, but while it's not a camo that I can use on every single gun, no matter the attachment, it's certainly something that I'm way more interested in that because I don't lose out on the design by changing attachments. So maybe we see more of these here in the future, maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. But beyond that, staying on the topic of attachments, the new Black Cell Tracer rounds for the TAC 56, it comes along with blue-yellow chromatic tracer and impact effects, as well as the death effects of the Chrome Burst. Now, if you guys did not realize, this is also something that can happen with any weapon type. If you have a weapon type that has tracers, you can actually go in and equip that same ammunition on any other weapon and apply those tracers to said weapon so long as you have that ammunition equipped. Now, some weapons that do come along with tracer rounds that do not have ammo as an attachment, those things you cannot apply to other weapons, but if they do, you can transfer that ammunition and use the skins option for said bullets, and you'll end up getting that tracer round. So kind of a 50-50 stealth change here. This one new with the weapon that was added in with Season 5, but this feature has been there for, I want to say, since at least Season 4 started. Beyond that, in DMZ, you now have the ability to get a starting self-revive as an unlock, which is a very good thing, I think, for solo players. Now, if you run into a full squad of 3 or assimilated squads, it might be something that if they all have that, might get a little bit annoying to infill and go up against that immediately, but it is definitely nice, I think, especially for solo players. I hear a lot of people wanting to play solo, but we've never seen solo DMZ thus far, so it's nice to have that second chance and not be wiped immediately. Beyond that, talking about Warzone and the World of Al Mazrah and others, the dirt bike was added in as of Season 5's update, but one thing that was not mentioned was that you can now do tricks for XP on dirt bikes, which is hilarious if you ask me. And it also allows for some pretty funny ragdoll animations. If you like get hit off the bike, you hit a tree branch midair or something, it'll just send you flying, and it has that sort of GTA style like delay to get back up. To me, it just looks incredibly funny. I've already seen some great clips with it, but that was added in. The Warzone buy stations have been moved around the map, at least within ranked play. It seems like that might be the case for all of it, but this threw my squad and I off for quite a little bit when we first jumped back into ranked play. We always went to a specific buy station after landing, and instinctively we went back there and we were like, wait a second, we can't buy our loadout here. So that's something you may have noticed. There's now a new ship in Mazrah as well that is apparently containing nuclear cargo according to some DMZ files that is just east of Al Baghra Fortress and south of Al Malik International Airport. So I have to think that ties in directly to the storyline here that we've seen coming up with the Modern Warfare 3 reveal, though that's not confirmed just yet in any way, shape, or form, but you gotta think the timing is definitely a little too coincidental. But anyways, beyond that, Black Sail Season 5 added the doggo execution to all operators. It's not now just for one. And then finally, the last thing in terms of gameplay changes is Eco mode was added. That was something that was mentioned in the patch notes, yes, but the difference in the stealth change is that it was added and equipped for all players, and it's defaulted to the minimal setting, which is not a whole ton of a decrease in performance, but it's also not something you may necessarily need to have on. So if you want to take it off, this is your reminder to do so. So that's the stealth changes here that were added in that I've found within Season 5. If you want to add something that we may have forgotten or not had added to this list, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. But before we wrap everything up, there were a few unintended gameplay changes that, as of the time of recording this, not all of these have been fixed out. Some of them have. Hopefully by the time this video goes live, more have. But if you have noticed this since the Season 5 launch, no, you weren't crazy. Firstly, tac sprint was bugged from the very start of the season, and it was something that would take more time to get back after either dolphin diving or punching and that mobility chain stuff to get back your tac sprint, but that's something that made the gameplay feel a lot slower. DMZ at launch was an absolute mess where players would try to unlock weapons by exfilling with them, a way that is intended and encouraged by the developers, but it would not allow for that unlock during that time. Additionally, DMZ had a few infill bugs where the insured weapons and weapons you chose to go into DMZ with, it wouldn't save, so it would infill you with no weapons. NVGs would be equipped if you ended up trying to organize anything in your inventory in Warzone. To my knowledge, that was fixed, I think, day 1, day 2. Vondel's BR Champion Quest contract is bugged, which is unfortunate because the rewards for that look really cool, but it would just straight up deny you the opportunity to go forward and continue on, and also cancel the contract at some points. Also, sometimes the contract itself wouldn't spawn in. Rotational aim assist was messed up. You can notice that mostly in the firing range, or maybe by the time this video goes up, you could have noticed it mostly in the firing range, but it'd be also intermittently out in game. This is one of those things that honestly, I know that a lot of people have strong feelings on. Me personally, I don't really care. I can play with or without aim assist, but it's just one of those things where, like, if you lose it mid gunfight because a leaf or a fence post gets in between you and your enemy, that's where it throws me off. I'll play with or without, doesn't matter, but have the consistency of one or the other. However, rotational aim assist has absolutely, I will fully acknowledge, become incredibly strong. So this bug might be good for some, bad for others, but it's a bug that happened no less. And finally, well, the UAV bug still was not fixed. That was something we were all hoping for, but now a full seasonal rotation on this, can't believe that's happened. So good job there, guys. Keep it up. I'm glad that's not fixed. Anyways, though, that is the stealth changes and some of the changes that happened as a result of Season 5 inadvertently. So that is now what we're going to call it. Before we wrap everything up, though, make sure you check out my friends over at Gamer Advantage. You've heard the pitch before. I truly think they're the best blue light glasses on the market. Most lightweight, comfortable, and durable frames out there. But if you guys have yet to pick up a pair for yourself, or maybe just want to grab another one, we actually teamed up recently in the past month to create the Espresso Bundle, which is a slight deviation from a regular bundle in their glasses. You end up getting the Inferno frames, but along with that, my logo etched into the side of the frames, I believe, a microfiber carry pouch with a cleaning cloth, both branded with the channel's artwork, and a polarized magnetic sun clip, which is really cool to have if you want to use them as sunglasses, or if they are prescription, you can use them as just your all-in-one, your blue light, your regular glasses, and sunglasses with that sun clip. So these are in limited stock. If you guys want to grab a bundle, check something out for yourself, links in the description below. But if you'd like to pick something up, use code Espresso to get 10% off your entire order. But that said, that is now we're going to wrap the video up. So let me know your thoughts down below. Like Season 5 so far, dislike it, like some of the stealth changes, dislike some of the stealth changes, whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found out at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay updated with all things Modern Warfare 2, Season 5, Modern Warfare 3, and X Defiant, along with other FPS content. Love to have you in the community, but for now, thanks so much for watching. Modern Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.